Cascade Collective TV with more videos finally. It's been a while, hasn't it, John?
It has been.
This time we're at the regionals back in Portland, Oregon on May 10th. With me, I have once again John Meindersee. Say hello.
Hello.
And I'm Joe, or Joe Held, Bazooka Joe, however you want to go call me. And on the left, we have Carlos Bustelo running Reina and Jared Harkness running NBN The World Is Yours. Both players from Seattle. And
it's a sad thing that the Seattle players got to, be at one of the final tables, but that's okay.
This is middle of Swiss round somewhere. This is table 1, and starting off right away, Jared Harkness, sweep.
Now this is we were just talking, Joe, this is the meta right after double time release, right?
No, Honor and Profit is out for this.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
First click runs, sees a Jackson Howard. Will he trash it? And he does. And he has 2 credits, 1 credit.
Who knows what he has going on over there?
I hate that playmat. I really hate that playmat.
Yeah, who knows how many credits he has, but maybe you can tell us in the comments.
It's so tiny too. I don't understand. All right, back to the corpse turn. NBN, you definitely have to get at him fast because they like to score agendas really quick. I'm assuming he's probably running Astrobatics, and he is definitely running Astrobatics. Puts out a Biotic Labor and is probably going to score an Astroscript right now.
That would make sense.
That's shipment from Sansan. It's not a bad deal. 5 credit. It is an Astro. It is an Astroscript.
Yeah, 5 credits, 2 cards, and you got Astro. That's not bad.
Start the train.
Yeah, Shipment from Sansan's an interesting card because the math of it just says, oh, it's 2 credit card, but for some reason it just works.
It's such a good card. It saves you 2 credits. Looks like he's running HQ and sees something. Looked like a hedge fund. Running R&D for click 2. Sees another Jackson. Can't trash this one.
How many credits does he have right now? I have no idea.
It looks like he has 1. Or 0. He has 0. So it looks like he just goes up the right side, and then once he reaches the second threshold, we'll put the second credits on the 10s or 20s.
Fair enough.
Takes the credit for click 1. Click 2, he will draw. And
now I wonder what that. Yeah, I wonder what that ice is on HQ. He didn't res it, so maybe he wanted to be able to play as a hedge fund later.
Probably that, or maybe he doesn't have anything in hand. Runs, and I'm not sure what he saw. Click 2 is going to run HQ.
It almost looked like a Jackson, but I can't believe all 3 Jacksons would be that far to the top.
There he saw Jackson right there, which he cannot trash again. Click 4, he feeds Katie. So 9 credits from Katie Jones. Plays Anonymous Tip.
Another good card.
Especially in The World Is Yours. You can fill up that hand. It's so hard to snipe an agenda out of a 6-card hand. And he's already going to Astro score. He just wants to score agendas as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah, and these accesses are just tough. I mean, to access with 0 cards, he's accessed 2 Jacksons, can't trash them. It's almost like he's wasting time, but...
He's a paper wall on R&D. So that keeps him out, but not for long. Click 2 is going to check out HQ.
Don't see a lot of paper wall these days. It's kind of cool.
Click 3 is going to check HQ one more time.
Now again, he keeps accessing with no credits to trash any assets he might find, or upgrades.
He's trying to get the agenda. It's tough playing against The World Is Yours because he's in a really tough spot. He already has an Astro scored on the table, and as the runner, you want to stop him from scoring that next Astro. So you're trying to keep pressure on him, but then he's been putting us pressure for nothing and has absolutely no rig or no mid to late game plan right now.
Yeah, he's got nothing to show for it. Green level clearance, which is a great card.
We see green levels and lately blue levels splashed in a lot of NBN decks. Installs in a remote.
I'm definitely in the green level camp when it comes to splashing the clearance cards in NBN.
And Jackson's. So fills up his hand again. Dilutes any agenda density he might have in there, which I don't think he has anything. He probably would have scored something.
Or res that. I mean, I think he would have res that ice on HQ if there was anything in there.
Oh, yeah, see, there's his lovely credit tracker.
Okay.
Click 2 is going to run that remote, sees the Sansan. I imagine he'll trash it. It goes down to 7 credits.
Yep.
I hate that playmat.
You know, I think the credit, it's kind of nice to be able to really see the credits easily, but that art is just horrendous.
I feel like I'm in a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament.
Oh, jeez.
So sees nothing out of his hand again. Click 3 installs a Dyson memchip.
Okay, I was gonna say, Underworld Contacts is coming up.
Interesting little Reina deck.
Yeah, he's playing Katie, and then now Underworld Contacts. All these things are really, cost money to set up. Katie takes clicks, and it's slowing him down, I feel like.
Has not seen any influence yet. With Reina and Anarch a lot in general, you usually have to expect siphons almost as much as criminals do.
Yeah, so I guess you gotta expect. Maybe that's why he's not resing on HQ, just to protect against siphon, which makes sense.
So sets up a new remote, which I would have to think is an agenda. It's an agenda or maybe another Sansan. Takes his money from Underworld Contacts. Draws for click 1. Looks like I see Shaper influence in there. Click 2 is going to run that remote. Sees another paper wall.
Where's a corroder when you need it?
Click 3 is going to go check out HQ. Access
Still fishing.
Nothing.
Still fishing.
Either Jared has nothing in there or he's absolutely lucky.
I actually think he's protecting against siphon. I don't know why I didn't think about that.
Click 4, he
earlier.
dirty laundries Jackson, which...
I think he's dirty laundering archives.
Hey, dirty laundry Jackson. Oh. Well, that's got to be satisfying for Jared because he does not get any money. Wait, what's happening right now?
It looked like he was changing his mind that he wanted to run archives. Maybe Jared was nice and let him dirty laundry archives.
But you can't... I have no idea what happened. Oh, they're talking about it right now. He does not get credits.
Yep.
Because the server disappears. There we go.
Okay.
Now my OCD brain is alright.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting ruling. I mean, it makes sense. The server ceases to exist before it's successful, which is kind of interesting.
As a corp, you got to be somewhat smiling inside when you see a play like that.
I think that's just probably inexperience on Carlos's part.
Yeah, I think this was... Yeah, Carlos is a newer player, I believe. I remember talking about the tournament.
Yeah, Jared is a pretty experienced player. I know he's pretty involved in Seattle. I think he's going to be coming down to a tournament in Portland area here next month. So just the different experience levels right now, I think, has given Jared a leg up.
Is it up? There's a Sansan, and what's coming out? Scores a Beal. It's a smart play, leaves the Astro counter on the table, and is now at 4 points.
Yeah, right now it's essentially match point. I mean, he has no money, but he certainly has... He probably has one shipment from Sansan in hand. Carlos can't really do anything to attack that Sansan that's rezzed.
I don't know, he's got to get through the paper wall, then has to get money to trust the Sansan.
It's just not going to happen. I mean, at this point, I think it's a foregone conclusion.
Whiffs on HQ again.
I mean, I have to think this whole time he's been hitting HQ, which is generally a good idea. I feel like he should be drawing for, if he's got special orders in there or some sort of tutor or a way to get rid of those paper walls, get some good accesses.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough proposition because if you set up, then NBN will just start scoring, and if you keep the pressure on, you can steal their agendas, but he's just been having no luck on any of his accesses. You almost think by now Variance would have at least scored him one agenda.
Yeah, that's true. But when you can't trash the assets when you access them, I'm going to keep harping on that, I guess, because then you're not getting the good accesses, because when you're accessing the assets, you need to be able to trash them.
Checks out HQ for click 2, and gets nothing again. Click 3 installs Underworld. Click 4 puts money on Katie. Click 1 takes a credit.
Hedge fund.
Click 2 hedge fund. So he's back in the money.
Yeah, so he doesn't have any agendas in hand. And I mean, and
Look like it, yeah.
yeah, if Carlos runs his hand again, I don't know. I can't be mad at the guy.
Installs
But it's not the right play.
Archives to stop those data sucker runs. And Jared's in a very good position right now. He's got money, got a sand scored, got an astroscript counter. So start of Carlos' turns, gets his Underworld, draws a card, click 1. Click 2 checks out Archives. And no res in Archives. And sees 2 Sweeps Week.
Wow, that's interesting why he would discard those.
He must have all econ in his hand then.
Now I'm wondering if I kind of expected to see a fast track there on that last click for Jared, but I guess he doesn't need it, right? He can fast track and score a 3 for 2.
I feel in this tournament, fast track hadn't become as popular as it is now. Oh, finally, a roto turret on HQ, so trashes his data sucker. So it's
Yeah,
showing
the
that he
double-
probably does have agendas in hand right now.
Yeah, definitely. So I think Honor Prophet had just released a couple days previously.
And scores astroscript. And that should have another counter on it. I don't know why he didn't. Oh, maybe he used the other counter.
He must have, yep. Which actually is fine. Although it's interesting he wouldn't anonymous tip first.
And I probably would have just scored the Astro just straight up and have 2 counters. Because then you can pretty much score anything you get, even after a draw.
Yeah, you can score the NAPD out of hand, right?
Stalls Mimic for click 1. Click 2, right. Click 3 is running HQ. And gets nothing again. So Carlos needs to do whatever he can to stop him from scoring that next agenda.
Which is not going to be easy.
Yeah, he's in a real bad spot right now.
Yeah, and you really do need to parasite roto turrets because, it's fairly taxing.
There it is. Breaking news for the win. And that is game. The power of NBN just railing through agendas. And unfortunately for Reina can be a little slower to set up. Which, I mean, he was putting the pressure on. He just was not getting accesses, and that's game.
Yeah,
focus,
there's not a lot.
Camera.
There's not a lot you can do in that case, except not start setting up so early. Almost just run without setting up.
Okay. Switching sides here, Carlos is corp on the left, running Hosbaroid, engineering the feature, and Jared's running Kate McCaffrey.
So let's see some more fast advance, maybe?
We'll see. Yeah, definitely, it's hard to know with HB. You're seeing a lot of big ice HB. You don't see as much fast advance as you used to, which in HB is still a powerful thing. I guess people just got tired of playing it, maybe. I do like Jared's sleeves. Those are fun little techie Netrunner sleeves.
Oh, yeah. We'll see if, I'm half expecting to see a prepaid voice thing because that's in fashion these days. We'll see.
You can probably expect parasites coming out of Kate too, since that's a normal shaper staple, it feels like now.
Oh, yeah. You gotta love, the ability to tutor and recur, clickless recursion and clickless tutoring for the parasites mid-run is pretty awesome.
So Riz Eli for click 1. Or, except for click 1. Riz is Eli on HQ. And he will bounce. Click 2 is going to go check out R&D.
Yeah, Eli tells you nothing about the deck, I guess, because pretty much any HB deck's going to be running Eli.
He gets Vitruvius right off the top. Click there, you're going to check out R&D again. Season Adonis campaign. And he's going to trash it.
Which I think is the right thing to do.
Click 4, check out R&D again.
See a new card.
Looks like a Victor.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. So does the Vitruvius tell you anything about the deck, Joe? You know, that it's fast advance or redcoats?
That's usually a staple HP, but I would think if he sees another 3-2, you can probably expect more fast advance. I mean, usually the standard fast advance package is Beta Test, Vitruvius, and Efficiency Committee.
Yep.
So Dirty Laundry's Archives.
So this is definitely going to be a Parasite Recursion deck.
Sure gamble. Thanks. What does he do for click 4?
Now he didn't hit R&D this time, did he?
He did not.
Interesting.
Just a money-making turn. So mandatory draw for the Corp. Looks like he does have a Beta Test in hand. From what I can gander. Sets up a new remote. Gains a credit for that. Such a good ID ability. Gain a credit every time you install a card.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
That's still probably one of my favorite abilities in the game for a Corp.
And to be clear, it's just the first card you install every turn, right? Yes.
Installs R&D interface and runs for click 2. Runs into a Victor, which I imagine I'll probably click through it. See 2 cards, a sucker token.
That's a 2.0, right?
Yep. Trashes a Jackson.
Good call.
And sees unknown card.
So that's why he didn't run R&D last time, because he was getting money so he could play that R&D interface.
Yeah,
so
it looks like it.
That makes sense.
Installs in the remote. And gets 2 more credits. So Jared's putting the pressure on here, doing a good job. You want to get attack and HB before they get set up because they can put out big ice, which makes it very taxing to get through. Another R&D interface.
Wow.
It's going to see 3 cards here. Clicks through Victor. Sees an NAPD but cannot score it. Looks like a Biotic. So NAPD, that agenda single-handedly made the game easier for Corps.
Oh yeah, I mean, talk about it.
Definitely swung some of the power into the Corps' favor after that big runner power creep.
You know, I would have loved to see NAPD as a 1 influence agenda, neutral agenda. Just because I think it's such an auto-include that it was just such a big boost to the Corps. So I would have loved to see an influence cost there, but you know.
And its downside definitely hurts Wayland big time.
Yeah, so it hurts one of the weaker Corps, you know, in the competitive scene because they can't really use it to its full
and you don't see
advantage.
a whole lot of Wayland nowadays anymore. Which I love Wayland. I'm a Wayland guy.
No, Wayland's fun. But I love my combo Wayland. So what you laugh at?
That's not real Wayland.
That's not real Netrunner.
Reza Jackson. So it looks like he's got an NAPD and a Beta Test in hand.
Well, he really wants that Jackson. He's protecting it. That's interesting. He wouldn't cover up archives.
Looks like he's got 2 NAPDs in hand.
There you go.
Installs click 2.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta fear the Parasite. I mean, you can't think your hand is safe right now because that Eli can get parasited real fast.
Looks like he's got 3 sucker counters on Data Sucker. Doing the smart thing though, shutting off those centrals to make them work for getting those counters now. Infiltrates for 2. Now installs Pro Contacts. Interesting play at this time since HB's getting set up and now that puts Jared back a little bit in tempo. How do you feel about Pro Contacts, John? Are you there, John? All right, it's just me commentating myself, but pro contacts. I'm iffy on. I mean, if you get it early, it's great, but it still is a huge tempo hit.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting play right now at this point in the game to kind of say, okay, I'm going to slow down a little bit and let you keep building.
It's a great card against Kentucky.
That's almost why I always try to fit it in, because it is just so good against Kentucky.
Installs a new remote.
Yeah, so at this point it seems like Jared's kind of getting shut out. I mean, he hasn't really done much. He just kind of slowed down with that professional contacts. There's not a lot he can do right now.
Yeah, the corporation's at 12 credits right now. Starting to set up some servers. He does have some sucker counters, so he might be able to kill some things. I imagine he's probably running Fems or Atmans as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be afraid of destroyers right now on all three of those centrals. I feel like he can't really just face check anything. Losing that data sucker right now would be really tough.
But it is HB too. Installs. Takes 2 more credits. So just sitting back, setting up, and gaining some money.
Is Carlos taking his free credit? I didn't notice him doing that.
He is. Yes.
Okay.
I know, I've forgotten that so many times in my Netrunner plays.
You know, I haven't played a lot of HB in my day in real life.
What's weird, especially when people play on Octagon and things like that, it kind of spoils it. You forget to take your recurring credits or things like Desperado credits, stuff like that.
Yep, definitely.
Installs daily casts. Daily cast is a pretty decent card, but again, another tempo hit.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I mean, he's really just giving the Corp right now tempo. It may turn out well. I mean, Corp has no points, and they can't really obviously they can't Astro Train. So there's less of a snowball effect, I think, with HB.
If he is playing HB Fast Advance, then that could be rough because he can start scoring those agendas. If he could score a beta test right now with the Jackson out, that could be wonderful for him.
Yeah, I'm thinking that must be a Sansan that he has installed in that remote.
I am curious. So runs Archives and reses Ichi. Does he pay for that? There we go.
That was smart to run on this first click, obviously. You got to expect the destroyers, like I said.
So clicks through everything. And gains a sucker token.
So it's interesting he would click through the trace. I would almost just say
so dumps Jackson. Jackson goes away. Takes Jackson and 2 mystery cards. And sees an Adonis. So there probably those agendas he had in hand. The NAPD and the beta test, perhaps. Yeah, look at that shuffling. I like that.
Whoa. Looks like he's just kind of...
When
it actually looks like there's a glitch in the video.
When I play, I do feel like everyone shuffles way better than I do.
You know, I feel like shuffling well is really, really important to Netrunner. And I feel like I don't get agenda flooded as often as some other players because I'm very anal about shuffling. You've seen me when I shuffle, right? I mean, I'll just keep going.
And sometimes it just looks cool. Come on. Like that, Carlos.
Cool
that was impressive, Carlos.
That was. Maybe you're still learning Netrunner, but you clearly have shuffling down.
I'm a fan of the pile shuffle. So sets up more ice on HQ.
Yeah, he's iced up. Doesn't have a lot of money, but if he can just kind of milk this a little longer, get that Eve campaign, I mean, he's playing the long game too. Just saying, okay.
You gotta be ready for the long game against HB.
It's interesting he threw away the Adonis in favor of the Eve. I guess it depends on it makes me think he's not running fast advance, because fast advance would just want that money quick so they can start botting.
I think so too. He's probably running a big ice or red coats, if you want to call it by Greg's name.
Yeah. I was actually really confused at that name at first. I was like, oh, taxing. Okay, that's cute.
Red coats? What? So Jared's got to poke his way in, get his counter charge. Desperado. That's fun. This makes me think he might be running more of an Ottman style parasite deck.
Well, he's got. If so, he's got to start making something happen. He didn't take his Eve money. We'll see if he does. Or did he? Oh, I think he did.
Looks like he did. There's blue level, Daft Punk. Yeah, I can't help but think of Daft Punk when I see that card.
Yeah, that's actually pretty great. I'm sure they thought of that.
He's got 2 agendas in hand. And install something in a single iced remote.
Now is that the same Sam? Who knows?
Do you feel that Netrunner nowadays is much more difficult for the runner?
Oh, of course. I mean, that's hands down. You know, even in deck building, I feel like, you know, there's not a lot of new corp decks coming out because the existing
Heimdall!
archetypes
There's a Heimdall on R&D.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I got excited for that.
Oh no, you gotta get excited about Heimdall.
I should yell it out like a Japanese game show. Heimdall 2.0!
Oh yes, you should.
We need some flashy graphics. We gotta get on that.
I think he just jacked out. I didn't think he wanted the brain damage.
Yeah, it looks like he just broke 2 brains. This is called a Deus Ex. That's interesting. Because he can use that for the Heimdall, I believe.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't realize that. Yeah, I actually love having Deus Ex against HB because their nastiest ice is all AP.
Scores the Gila hands. Or Gila hands, I was corrected.
Gila.
I've been wrong my entire life. I always called them Gila monsters, but they're Gila monsters apparently.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I had to look that up.
Pretty much everyone says Gila hands, so you know, you come here to watch these games on Cascade Collective to learn.
But I'll say Gila hands just because I like saying that, but I'll also say Gila hands to appease everyone who's going to probably correct me in the comments.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. No one would because everyone says it wrong. No, go with Gila hands, man. That sounds way better. Gila hand.
Gila hands.
It's a good card.
It's got a nice ring to it.
It's a really good card. I mean, with HB here, he can install a card and go Gila hands for 4 credits while building.
Yeah, Jared's got to get on it. And Gila hand's only 3 credits.
Well, the install though would give him another credit for 4.
Installs Parasite on Ichi. And he's gonna run archives and gonna trash out Ichi. So it's double suckers. So he's Roto Turret and Reclamation Order. I hate Reclamation Order. I hate that card. Well, I hate having that card played against me, I should say. You do all the job of trashing their stuff, or they use all their Sabiotics, and oh, they're all coming back now.
Yep.
We got another Daft Punk coming out.
Yeah, I think you're right. This must be an Ottman deck with the double sucker. I mean, it's just interesting. I've never seen a Kate player not play an Icebreaker for so long.
Maybe he hasn't got any tutors or anything. Maybe he's just been digging for it.
But he's also got the clone ship Parasite going on here, so he can start to have some fun.
Oh, pays all his money. Another Heimdall 2.0.
Wow. That's an interesting res. He just went poor.
But does have his Eve to refill him. I would.
Yeah, but no money to res anything though, so he can just run down there and trash the Eve, which is exactly what he should do, right?
Oh, would you take a brain right now?
To see that one card?
I think I'd probably take a brain here.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's going to be able to get some more sucker tokens, which could definitely help. got to spend 2 clicks anyway, so...
Take a brain. Take a brain. Oh, looks like you just end the run.
Now you go here and trash the Eve campaign.
I would definitely run that Eve right now. Oh,
my
Jared
goodness.
Harkness. Run that Eve.
He got cocky after winning that last game 7-0.
So it gets that Eve money. Draws a card.
Man, that just lets Carlos get right back into it with Gila hands.
It does.
So he was at 0 credits, and now he's at 6. Yeah, on 1 turn.
Runs that remote. Sees another Victor 2. Clicks through Victor.
Why did he go down to 0?
This is Trash Jackson Howard. He did not. Did he take his Desperado credit? I don't think he did. Nope, there it is.
Yeah, and Carlos overspent for that Victor because he had 6 credits and he went down to 0. So we'll see if that comes back to bite him. And he's still not going to trash that Eve.
Discards Plascrete, which is a wise decision.
Yeah, with Desperado, really, that Eve only costs you 4. Which seems worth it, but... You know, whatever.
I feel... It looks like there's a lot of agendas in this hand. Can you see that? Looks like I see 2 beta tests and maybe another NAPD or Vitruvius.
I can't tell. I'm like trying to lean over it. Actually, it doesn't work, right?
Yeah, I want to go behind my laptop and look at his hand.
Yeah, like, we'll work on, guys. We'll work on trying to get a. I think if we had more of a top-down camera, we might see like the angle. You might be able to see him better. But you know, that costs money.
I need the table cam, like the World Series of Poker. Runs HQ for click 2. Does not res. Res's pop-up window.
All right.
And I'll probably click through Eli. He clicks through Eli. So it gains money and 2 sucker counters.
That's where so if he would have clicked through that Heimdall 2.0, he would already have the sucker counters. He could have just killed that Eli.
Yep.
Which would have saved him some clicks.
Sees a biotic labor. Not what you want to see, because you know you can just...
Yeah, see, this is a fast advance deck. He's just taken the slow route, I guess. I think he had to because of those double R&D interfaces.
I have not seen any Sands. Actually, I also haven't seen any Influence either.
Oh, the pop-up, but it's just 1.
Oh, here comes the biotic. Beta test.
Is he going to pop it? To it.
So it's now 3-2.
I guess he does have a lot of ice out on the board, but...
Oh, I was hoping he would beta test.
Yeah,
I love seeing a beta test.
Yeah, and it's just so crippling.
I always lose my beta tests, so...
But he's got a Heimdall 2.0, right, on archives, so that's pretty solid.
Worst case scenario, make him take a brain. Click 1, pro contacts. And he's going to test run, and let's see what he's going to take out.
Let's get something going.
Are they going to parasite that pop-up window?
Wow.
Looks like he's going to go head towards HQ now. Oh, another test run. And Eli.
Okay. Just open that up.
And the last kick is going to run Eli.
I would have loved to see Escher.
Another Eli. Double Eli.
Oh, I didn't even realize he had another piece of ice on there because that damn Yu-Gi-Oh mat.
And he bounces. Takes his last bit off Eve.
Well, that Eve campaign did work right there.
Installs, and then he lands. So you gotta think that's an agenda.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's a lot. I mean, he has money. I mean, he can drop an Ottman and try to make something happen here.
Shakes to the remote for click 1. Here's another pop-up. Does not res second. It is
An APD?
another Jackson Howard.
I'm surprised he wouldn't use it. That might just be, unless he's going to reclamation order them both back into his hand, which would be boss.
Definitely possible. Makes him want to spend the money. Quick 2 pro contacts.
And that's how you were talking about being frustrated by playing against reclamation. That's why, because
You
they
pay
can
for a
play
bunch of
those
stuff.
games.
And installs another daily cast with some trip economy. Mandatory draw.
Come on, reclamation order.
And they're getting towards the end of the round here. These guys need to pick up the pace a little bit. Turning into a long game.
Yeah, this is.
3 points for the corp, 2 points for the runner. Installs in that remote.
And the healer
Plays
hands.
another biotic.
Oh.
And scores Vitruvius. So 5 points for Carlos right now.
Oh, he does, yeah. You're not updating your agenda points, man. Come on.
We'll fix it in post.
Okay, so it's 5-2. I'm
It is
thinking
5-2.
it's 0-2. What the heck? Yeah, and this, I mean, he's only got 1 credit.
So Jared's definitely in a bad spot right now. He wants to get an R&D with that big dig, but Heimdall and Victor putting in work for him.
Yeah, you can't click through both, right? So
He cannot.
also, I feel like he definitely kind of gave up on that. I feel like if he would have kind of focused on killing that first Heimdall, that might have really helped him.
He's going to parasite Eli. Quick 2 is going to run HQ. Kill that first Eli.
Yeah, so this is interesting to me that he would, invest so much in those double R&D interfaces and then just essentially just give up on R&D, just going for the single accesses. It's tough.
It's probably, and scores an NAPD. So 4-5, back in it. That brings him down to 4 credits. He's probably trying to make it so he can't score out on a remote, but then again, he also has no money. And Carlos just takes money, uses healer hands, and takes credit.
I guess he does still have a clone chip out, right? So if Jared can just kill this Eli, get a bunch of sucker tokens, he could get right back into R&D. He might be able to pull this out.
So he's going Dirty Laundry HQ. Kill that Eli.
Nice.
And loads up those suckers some more.
Yeah, there's got to be an NAPD and a 3-2 in there, I think, with how
See something, I'm not sure what it was.
there was some frantic shuffling on Carlos's part there. He's a little scared right now.
Gonna go run HQ, load up some more suckers.
This is pretty great that he's doing this without 1 icebreaker. I'm a big fan.
I'll probably run HQ again, and
Yep.
because then he can, unless he wipes, which he probably won't, he can. I'd probably clone chip out a parasite on the Heimdall,
And kill
and
it
then
right
kill
off.
a Heimdall, and then do a big R&D run.
Yep.
The installs are HQ, takes money, clone
The
chip
healer
it.
hands. Do it. Do it. Yeah, before the
Kill
turn
Heimdall,
starts.
You can kill Heimdall.
Nope, he's not gonna do
No,
it.
that's not doing it.
So, in case you guys don't know, so if he clone chips the parasite out right now before the turn begins, then it starts with 1 data sucker token plus his 6 would kill it with 1 run into R&D.
Oh, granted, he does have 7 data sucker tokens, so I guess it doesn't
Oh, he does.
matter a bunch. It's all self-modifying code.
Well, it also would have saved him a credit from the install because he'd also use Kate's ability on
Sure.
technically Carlos's turn.
Runs HQ, definitely.
And yeah, he's letting him have R&D right now, which
Run
Might be
R&D.
the death of him.
So he's going to go check out R&D. What's he going to do? He's going to clone ship Parasite. It's going to cost him 2. He's going to kill that Parasite. Actually, he does not have the memory for that. Oh, yes, he does. Never mind.
He does? How?
Kills
Oh,
Heimdall.
Desperado. Now, is he gonna? He must have 3 parasites in that deck if he's gonna.
So he's going to self-modifying code for what is he going to dig for? Let's see it.
Or an
A
Ottman. Does he have
Yogg
enough?
Rats?
Yeah, an Ottman.
Oh, brings that Ottman for 5, so expensive Ottman. Pays 2, and his big R&D dig. And sees 3 cards. What does he see? And he scores a beta test. And, oh, it's an NAPD? That's a game right there.
Oh my goodness.
Pulls it off with a big R&D dig, 8-5. That was a ridiculously close game.
Yeah, that was great. That was good Netrunner right there.
And that's it.
That
Jared Harkness wins. Thank you for joining us. Subscribe and stay tuned for more videos.
Thanks, guys.
In the black darkness of a screen.
All right, let me shut this recording off and.